You'll find me resting in the shade of the mountains and trees beneath the cool summer breeze. And I don't mind if you stay. Everybody's alone. Everybody's alone. People talking to me, someone saying that I'm not the same. Not so easy to be when I learn to be free.
All right, welcome back to We Are the Fall and last episode of the year. Steve, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling ready for an adventure.
All right, we're about to fire up the old tour van. We're about to get back on the road and kind of go around and visit some of our favorite albums of the year. That track that you just heard leading off is none other than Mr. Uncle Neil Young coming in, and that's not new music. That's from 1970 from an album that was reissued this year, or actually I guess it is kind of new because it's never been released, and that's called Early Days, and that's Neil Young and Crazy Horse doing their thing with that song Everybody's Alone, which I like that. I like the vibe of that. And I don't know if you picked up on that, Steve, that little riffage and that little vibe in that song, but because I just put two and two together. But one of your choices at our mid-year best of albums, you picked Sam Evian. That he pulls, I guess he pays homage to Mr. Neil Young in that song on that album, and he takes it to another place. But they're very like-minded, I think, musicians. They got that
Oh yeah.
warm tone. They got that high falsetto voice. But I just recently kind of picked up on the little riff that he tastefully repurposed from that song. And yeah, that's a great reissue. But you know what? We don't have time for old music. But if you're like most fall heads, that I interact with online, basically there's been no good music since the fall stopped working, as far as a lot of people are concerned. You know, I know you agree with that.
Barely any. There's nothing that comes out.
No,
I'm just always looking. I am looking for a new song and go
no,
right
it's not.
back to my friend Mark and see what he's got written down today.
Yeah, it's not. Nothing will ever be as good ever again. So it's kind of sad, unfortunate, and it was really hard for us to pull 10 albums each that are completely different for this episode. But we're gonna try our best, and I think our listeners are not of that ilk and have open ears and open minds. So, Steve, let's get into the tour van. Let's get our
Oh,
snacks together.
well, no, hold on.
What?
I got a little bit of a plan for us.
Oh,
Before we get in the van for a long car ride, I think it's important. We're gonna go to a special place. We're gonna go to Amsterdam. We're gonna
oh,
pick up some truffles and we're gonna get on our bikes and stretch our legs a little bit and listen to this band called Naive Set. Their song we're gonna do is Anywhere But Here off their album In Air Quotes.
those truffles are kicking in quick for me.
Here we go.
I could see you coming back anywhere but here, signing autograph, have a last laugh, disappear. I could take you anywhere but here. As a last defense, as the past tense draws near.
call it fate, call it luck, call it karma, an act of faith. Act the part, stay together, call it a day, just stay in love forever. I still see you everywhere, everywhere but here. Sign an autograph, have a last laugh, disappear. If I could change my sawtooth ways, I'd call you my love, call it fate, call it luck, call it karma, an act of faith. Act the part, stay together, call it a day, just stay in love forever. Change my sawtooth ways, I call you my love, call it fate, call it luck, call it karma, an act of faith. Act the part, stay together, call it a day, just stay in love forever.
Dang. I mean, there's never gonna be a band as good as The Fall, but that was pretty nice and warm and cozy. I liked everything about that bike ride. I mean,
Yeah, I picked us a bag of brownies to take for the rest of the van ride around the world, and I think
Jesus.
we'll be feeling good.
that's
Some-
good.
Something to wash down those nasty little roots with.
Okay, that's good. And that's a good way to start off with that naive set. And, I'm glad that we're going on this trip now because I just got a lot of free time coming my way due to this next band. And the name of this next band, very apropos because it's called Workers' Comp. And this band has just put out an album that is basically a collection of all their recent singles and EPs. And so it's kind of a compilation of their work, but it's in an LP form, and it's really good. It's really cool. I don't know much about these guys, but once I heard this song called "It's Fine," it I just really like it's kind of home recorded, but it's also every other track or a lot of the tracks have this country twang and this little bit of a honky tonk vibe. But the lyrics are what is paired with when it's paired with these lyrics that are just like great. They're just like hilariously great in the turn of phrase and everything. It's good. So I mean, my favorite track on the album is called "It's Fine," but we're not going to listen to that because we're pulling out of Austin, Texas, and we got to pull out with the sound that we're passing by at the end of the Austin city limits, and we're going to go with a track off the self-titled album by Workers' Comp called "When I'm Here."
Jesus Christ Almighty. God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, I've been adding tap water to the Windex at my work. I've been meeting Monday morning on the right side of the dirt. I boil all the doorstops like I'm Cinderella Man. And you know my disposition like the back of my hand. It feels like music o'clock whenever I lift my mop down a hallway at the bottom of the sky. Won't nobody slip when the jingle on my hip rings a blue arrangement on the pane of passers-by. Woo! No more spring, no more winter, no more fall. It's August everlasting after all. I'm famous, I'm anonymous, and I'm elsewhere when I'm here. I'm going to be a janitor, it's clear. Labor Day in Baltimore, that's time and a half. Planting flowers on a plot between a joke and a laugh. If irony were ecstasy, we'd rave until we die. Eating bubble gum for breakfast or McDonald's apple pie. Now I'm paying off my tooth, 'cause I'm kin to living proof. And I'm mentally regarded as a killhead supreme. We all could use a break from the shovel and the rake. And when bosses, how are you? You say surviving the dream. No more spring, no more winter, no more fall. But it's August everlasting after all. I'm famous, I'm anonymous, and I'm elsewhere when I'm here. I was born to be a janitor this year. I was born to be a janitor this year.
How you feeling about workers' comp,
I
Steve-O?
mean, that's just some good old country western. It's just so sad what happened to country music for the last like 20 years, pretty much, and it just turned to mostly trash. But I'm glad to see that it is making a revival of the strong lyrical, interesting song, music again that it once was.
Yeah, and the humor, like you don't get that humor. Like, I mean, it was based on humor when it started off, or like entertainment value. But that's a song that is just every verse is kind of like puts a smile on your face even bigger. And but then there's the darkness to it of when his boss asks him like how he's doing, and he's like surviving the dream, not living the dream,
Yeah,
surviving the dream. That's beautiful. It's
yeah.
a beautiful sentiment. That's real. I've loved to hear that. Yeah, that's workers' comp. Check those boys out. I hope they got more coming down the pipe. But let's head forward, Steve. Let's head forward. We just are merging on to the expressway here, the highway. What do you want to get our motor rolling with?
Let's go and see if Brooks is at home.
Oh,
We'll go to LA and see what's happening there. Um, Listen to a track on the way by a band called Wand. I've been a big fan for many years now. They've done a variety of sounds, some loud and noisy, and this one's a little bit softer, little more psychedelic, but it's one of their better ones in the last couple of years. Album
y-
is Vertigo.
yeah, and this is the project of Corey Hansen, right? And he's been in
Yeah,
Ty Segall side bands like the Emotional Muggers, and they're kind of interspersed in the California psych rock landscape and scene. And if you like kind of a country twang like on that last track, you should also check out his album called from last year called Western Come. Very
yeah.
beautifully titled album. And but that album is just basically him plugging into an old Fender amp and riffing. He's got like some virtuosic technical ability on the guitar fretboard, and just him and an amplifier on that album is really great. But let's get into this
Yeah.
pick to click.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's got another solo album that came out, I think, this summer that was good too. They were both on my list, but figured only one track per man.
Yeah, and I think this is a great cut. Let's get into this. Curtain call.
I got something I don't have. What you told me with your side, I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to be afraid. I don't want to wait inside. When you got nothing to hide. Someone else is inside your brain. It's gonna drive you insane. It's gonna drive you insane.
Yep, that is nice. That's like a nice auditory road trip in itself, I think.
That whole album is just, yeah, each song kind of is expansive but simple, and you're just like, man, it's so nice to kind of calm down and listen to it.
It's a good headphone album, or stereo system album where you turn it up a little bit. There's obviously, even from the vocal delivery and the sound of this album, there's a huge Radiohead influence, which I don't think they would deny that Radiohead is a big influence in their what they inspires them. And it's great to listen to this on headphones and just hear that soundscape. And I know some people like the falsetto voice is a little bit off-putting for some, and they can't get into. Same for like Uncle Neil. Some people can't get past the voice, but just put it on and listen to the production alone and get drawn in a little bit, because it's really nice in that regard. So Steve, let's head forward and let's I liked that was so chill, because now we're about to like rip some fucking face off. This band is called Lothario, and they're from Australia, and they fucking rip and they rock. I think you just need to pull up the album cover of this album, and the album is called Hogtied, and we're going to listen to a song called Suckhole. And if you're getting the gist of the thematic kind of things that are going on here, it's a bunch of songs that are rockin', punk, garage, ripping songs that are very thematically sexually deprived. There's like a little bit of a cool and explicit nature to a lot of the content in these songs, and it's really fun. So let's go. And before we go, I gotta say, you gotta listen to the entire album because it's all good. But they do have a closing track that is a cover of the Jerry Rafferty song "Right Down the Line." That obviously that's a great song, but you got to hear their version of it. But you don't get it here, folks. You got to listen to "Suckhole."
Wow. Shredding it up. That is noisy.
Now, I know you got, well, I'm actually just guessing that you have another Australian band, maybe on the B side of this episode, that might be in the same vein as that.
They might be best friends. Two
Yeah.
lovely ladies from Melbourne looking to have a good time and play some loud music.
I'm all for that because a front person that is ripping it up like that is something I'm gonna get behind. And yeah, gotta check that out. Let's move over. Let's get off on the exit. Let's take a little break, honestly. Pull into this old petrol station. And what do we want to do here, Steve?
Man, let's bring ourselves back down. I'm feeling a little feisty, getting in the car, getting a little antsy. We'll slow things down a little bit. We've got a band called Assistant from album, I guess it's from the future because it doesn't release till January 31st of this year of 2025. But you can listen to all the songs if you want, so not really sure what that's all about. But
That's cool.
Yeah, they're all available. This is from, across the pond from us, way across the pond from Australia, Brighton and Hove in the UK.
Oh,
So yeah, I was reading a little bit about these guys. I guess this is the first new music on their new album, or not their new album, but their new record label, Subjangle they're on now. So I guess Subjangle is putting out a lot of their old stuff, redoing it, putting it back out again. But yeah, this is their first new album. But we'll slow it back down and listen to a song called My Phone Began to Ring.
this life, that's just death. Not that many people really have it, but often you'll be out of breath. Get so sick of tests and trials when no one says anything good. Well, I could walk for miles and miles, but be breathless where I stood. One day I was standing by a pond near the house of Raymond Briggs, with my wife and with my son. It was locked down in a fix. Then my phone began to ring. All of a sudden I could see my phone began to ring. My phone began to ring. I wonder if you could please call the hospital. My phone began to ring. All of a sudden I could see my phone began to ring. My phone began to ring. I wonder if you could please call the hospital today.
That was fun. I've never listened to the band Assistant before, but that was fun. You know what? That was giving me a vibe of a guy called Destroyer, a musician that it has kind of that delivery. But the thing that I liked about this a lot was it sounded like this guy recorded that on his phone. Almost. The guitar sounded like one of those acoustic guitars that you plug into an amp that's kind of round on the back. And that's not my favorite sound at all, but when it started with that, I was like, "Oh, what is this gonna be?" And then it kept going further, and then you hear his vocal delivery, which I honestly, it sounded like he's just in the room on his phone recording that, and then he put it on the track. And I'm a big fan of like recordings like that where you can actually hear the DIY-ness of it and it's not overthought, overproduced. It's so fun. It was a nice treat.
Yeah, it's definitely an introspective kind of sadder album, but it's got good sounds throughout.
Yeah, that's great. Now let's go to another DIY musician, artist. It's basically a solo project called Piece de Resistance, and it's fronted by a guy that used to be the front man in a band called Institute from Austin, and it's like a punk, post-punk, hardcore band that's really great too, that everyone should go check out. But Institute doesn't really exist too much anymore, and this individual is now in New York City, so this is a New York City project, and I gotta say, it really has a New York City gritty sound, and you're gonna hear in this definitely some Iggy Pop influence, but it's just got everything that I love, like a griminess, a dirtiness, of lo-fi recording, but then also good kind of nasty hooks in there. They hook your teeth into it. So we're gonna listen to Piece de Resistance, a song called Heard Your Voice off of the album Lullaby for the Debris.
that is a great dirty old album that he put together.
So that was Moses Brown of the Band Institute and now Peace de Resistance. And man, we don't have these in order, but that one is pretty high up. If I had to put them in an order of ranking, that one is it's so good front to back. I think that was on your list too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that one is so fun. It's just really great, and it's just a bunch of songs that fit well together, and they all have a great. It's almost like a concept album in
Yeah,
just sound.
yeah, the message as well, though. I mean, like his lyrics are all
Mm,
kind of like, they're driving a message that he
hmm.
wants to express, but it's definitely about the music way more than it is anything else.
Yeah, he has a song called "Don't 1099 Me," which is basically a tax form, right? And what do you know what tax form that is? I'm not, I mean, I'm really bad with that stuff, but what's the 1099 tax tax form that you got to fill out? It's basically it was a miscellaneous information form from the IRS that you fill out if you're let's see.
Basically, you get it 1099 for any money you made.
Oh,
So
this makes sense now.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
you say the concert venue's gonna,
Yeah.
put you at
Pay
1099 because
you.
they paid you
Yeah.
$500 for the show or something like that. And
Yeah.
then at the end of the year you get it and now you gotta claim it.
Yeah. It says if you get over $600 in rents, prizes, awards, other income payments. So basically, this is, and I remember actually doing this for our band, and I was like, what do I have to fill out paperwork for? Just like give us the cash, which is probably why I'm not going to be on the streets much longer. I'm probably going to be behind bars for 2025, but we will still continue doing We Are the Fall from those confines, and it might be actually be kind of nice break. Okay, so let's move forward. What do we got coming up on
We
the
are going with a palate cleanser here. We're going back to Los Angeles with a band called Slippers. A young lady, I believe her name is Madeline Beebe.
Hmm.
Um, it is just some guitar pop music. It sounds really nice. Fun to listen to. Off the album, So You Like Slippers is Nice Weather.
Dang, I think I got a cavity off of that.
Yeah, it's what Brooks was going for, but never got there.
I mean, that is so sugary. That's it's sweetness and sunny, and it's great. Oh man, it's not over the top either. It's like really, really in a nice little pocket. I'm not familiar with that either, and I'm going to be listening to some more Slippers. And actually, this leads really well into the next track. This is my pick. This is a band called Artificial Go, and Artificial Go is a band that I've just been listening to this album over and over again, and they're from Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's just another one of those bands where you're like, Ohio, what is going on? Because they got something going on, and this album has a bunch of, it's a four-piece band from the Cincinnati post-punk scene, 8 tracks that are just all basically less than 3 minutes, most of them catchy lo-fi, but still has this post-punk edge to it that's really great and unique. So we're gonna listen to the lead-off track from Artificial Go off their album from 2024 called Hopscotch Fever, and this track is called Payphone.
No more landline telephone. Take your shoes off, you're in a big city now. The world is an apple, come take a bite. You must swallow before the rot gets to the core. Put your 25 cents into the payphone to pay for some human connection. Let the fruit wash your brain. Drown your thoughts into the stream. Let the fruit wash your brain. Drown your thoughts into the stream. 1-800, never call again. No more landline telephone. Take your shoes off, you're in a big city now. The world is an apple, come take a bite. You must swallow before the rot gets to the core. Put your 25 cents into the payphone to pay for some human connection. Let the fruit wash your brain. Drown your thoughts into the stream. Let the fruit wash your brain. Drown your thoughts into the stream. 1-800, never call again.
Artificial Go.
I mean, that's a fun music video on top of it.
What do you like?
Just the goofiness. Eating ice cream cones, playing the drums. I haven't heard that either. I'll be delving into that a little bit more.
That band has a great, it has like a little bit of a Kate LeBon in the delivery of the vocals, but that band has a kind of a callback sound to the band Pylon, which I really like. And yeah, just go listen to that whole one again. Go listen to
I mean,
all
there's-
these.
Yeah, you definitely should. There's culture everywhere. Cincinnati, come on.
I know, and I'm just being sarcastic a little bit because there's a lot of good stuff going on in Cincinnati and Cleveland, and I'm a proponent of. I know there's scenes going on there that are very worthwhile, and I've found so many bands out of those scenes. So yeah, I'm happy for it. There's got to be a shining light in that zone, just like in Texas. Let's go into the next track, Steve.
We're going back to the UK. Gonna go to Glasgow and visit a band called Night Shifts off their album Homo Sapiens. And it's gonna be track Crystal Ball.
Night Shift off of Homo
Nice.
Sapien on one of Steve, your and my favorite labels from Chicago, Trouble in Mind Records.
Yeah, their first music out in a couple of years now. Looks like the band had a little shake up and added members and some left. But yeah, it's a solid work.
This is really cool. And actually, I think actually one of the members that left, I was on a compilation of by I think a French record label that had a little concept album compilation idea of, musicians covering each other's songs. And I wanted to record this guy's song. I wanted to do a version of this guy's song that's in Night Shift. He was the bass player, I believe. And he has great songs still. But someone else was like picked that song before me, and I was so pissed. I was like, ah, and then I heard the version. I was like, it's good. It's good. It's good. I could add a little flair to that if I had the chance. But that's a great album too. I had that on my list as well. And anything on Trouble in Mind, honestly, you just gotta, you basically just have to put that in the old carrier bag and walk out of the store. Payment or not, preferably payment made. We're wrapping up side A of our road trip mix, and there's only one way to go out. Like when we go into the B side, we know we're got to get some deep cuts going, and these have been a lot of great 2 minute, 3 minute songs, which I'm very actually surprised about. But I think we got to go into some of the more strange territory, at least for part of our B side journey, because when that road trip keeps getting into the halfway point, past the halfway point, you need a little bit of motivation and you got to go a little bit deeper. So, heading into that side, if you want to join us, jump on over to Patreon and join us on the B side road trip playlist. But if not, I hope you enjoyed yourselves this year. We've enjoyed having you, and we'll see you in 2025 for some more We Are the Fall. Steve, we're going to go out on this one called Empty Visions by a band called Mordecai. And this band's from, I believe, Montana, which is far out as well. And it's from the album Seeds from the Furthest Vine. And this is kind of, I think, going to be up some of our fall head listening tastes and temperaments because it's just some weird shit that you need to listen to. So let's listen to Mordecai. And until side B comes around, we are the fall.
We are the best.